We're here this afternoon with Mark Pekarek, who is one of our SST licensees, one of our longest-standing licensees based in Illinois. And we're going to talk a little bit about his experience with SST. So, Mark, let's begin with how it all started.
I've been in the club-making business for a long time, and I'm always looking for our business to be out there on the leading edge with all the best products possible to fit our customers. And I saw Dick Weiss down at the PCS show, and I followed up with him down at the PGA show. And then he said, well, we're going to be in Chicago at the Western Open. And I'm in the van with him, waiting for him to show up, and I'm seeing Larry Mize come in, and I'm seeing J.L. Lewis come in. I'm seeing all these prominent tour players come in one after another, and I'm like, I don't know if this system works or what it is, but this guy's going to make it a brand name. I want to have the best system that the pros play in my shop.
So now this has almost been practically a decade that you've had the system. Have you any idea of how many shafts you've pured over that time period?
Well, you know, we keep a copy for ourselves, and we put that in a stack, and it's in our office, and that stack is almost hit the ceiling. So many, many thousands of shafts over the years.
Tell us a little bit about how the technology has evolved and how that has fit in with the SST alignment program.
Yeah, you know, this industry in some ways is so uneducated, and it hurts all of us that are not educated. And so using that system, we learn more about shafts, we learn more about installation, we even learn more about fitting. And so all of these different products add up to helping us educate helping educate our consumers, and even some of the other shops we work with as to some of the best benefits of matching golfer to equipment.
From a fitting standpoint, you've got brand new launch monitors, you've got all kinds of tools now to help you in the fitting process. Where does the SST PURE alignment system and equipment fit into the overall program of what you do for a golfer to make sure that they're going to maximize their equipment?
Yeah, the most important thing is if they're trying a certain shaft, they're trying a certain club, and if that club is a little bit deficient because maybe it hasn't yet been finally installed to the best, most uniform alignment, they may not even try that club because it might not pass their performance desires. So if we can build that club so that they actually are playing in our fitting matrix with a club that's already been pured, that's one less element that we have to concern ourselves with, and they can have a better route to finding that optimal club.
Now, some people say that they understand shaft alignment, they understand that this obviously works for tour players. Like today, for example, we're here at the HP Byron Nelson Championship. Do you find that this type of technology, the SST PURE technology, works for amateur players as well as for the tour players?
It works certainly for any product, any golf club that is intended to deliver a stroke to the golf ball. So whoever uses that product is going to benefit. It actually, it's not even so much, it's certainly for a tour player because they're playing a lot, but it's more so for any golfer who's playing a lot, who's playing a high frequency.
So in other words, a handicapper, say, of a 15 or 18 handicap can derive the same benefits from proper pure aligned shafts as today we find tour players using the technology as well.
Absolutely. If someone is going to sit on their couch all day long and play once a year, it won't have a benefit. But if they go off with shoes that don't fit, if they go out with clubs that don't fit, if they go out with equipment that's not installed in the most uniform, efficient position, it's going to definitely have an impact, regardless of their handicap or ability.
Now, if you were to talk to a prospective SST shop, another club fitter out there, another club maker, what would be your advice to them if they are considering or contemplating bringing in an SST system?
They can do the same thing I did. You go out to the tour and see some of the shafts and the players that are being installed. Talk to other SST licensees. Get your hands dirty. You got to be able. You're writing that check, and you got to understand how it's going to work for your customer. You got to be a believer in it before you can explain that to your customers.
How has SST fit into the overall equation as far as profitability and a revenue source for your business?
Yeah. It's not only a great installation tool, it's not only something that is a product performance benefit to your customers, but more than anything, and where these decisions almost always are made, is that it's a product differentiator. If there's a shop that's selling a Callaway driver, TaylorMade, Ping, whatever, and I'm selling something that is identical product, but it also has been aligned on the system and done some other modifications to it, that is just such a great revenue benefit, because then now the customer can't compare any longer our product and the product in the big box store. It's just such a great product differentiator. It differentiates us, and it kind of melts away that person's other view of that $299 driver. What we're providing is something on a whole nother level that you can't even compare the price, and that is worth a bundle to us.
When you have players that have been fitted in your shop, they go out and they play around with their buddies, and they come back and they say, "Mark, it's incredible. I can't believe the difference." Have you had a lot of testimonials of people coming back and giving you some feedback on the work that you've done with their Pure shafts?
It's very hard with us, because most people don't get to see the before and the after. They're getting the product brand new. They love the product. They love the work. My best story, which you couldn't believe this, but this one fella comes in. Guy has more money than God. He has a car dealership. He's has this set of Callaway irons. I'm not beating up on Callaway by any means, but he comes in and he has the shafts retro pured. So the shafts are pulled on his existing clubs, reinstalled to the new pure position. He's out playing, and his wife says to him, "Ralph, did you get a new set of clubs? They sound different." That's how she knew that he was hitting them more on the center of the face. So the puring process actually made the club sound more solid, more assertive, more bang on the center of the face, to the point where her senses told her this was a new set, and nothing had been done except for the shaft had been pured. Now, you can't make that stuff up, and you could never even make a TV commercial like that, because nobody would believe you. But that's actually what happened.
Well, that's part of the SST technology, and that is, it's not only going to increase the performance of the shaft, but it narrows the dispersion and has some other benefits. Talk a little bit about some of the other things that SST shaft puring provides.
I think that's the main benefit that most every golfer notices, is that your dispersion pattern shrinks because the shaft is more uniform. It's flexing more like a door that's not off its hinges, but it's fully on its hinges, perfectly smooth. So you hit it more in the center. The club actually is easier to swing. You kind of almost, in some ways, are a prisoner of the shaft, because you're learning that the club swings the same way each time. It's never jumping off the track. We're just trying to make the product for the consumer to have the most enjoyment by aligning it, instead of being random and guesswork, uniform, efficient, functional, and all that like. For the first 10 minutes that we were involved with SST, we used to give people an option. Well, you can get it regular, or you can get it this way, and here's what it does. And it's like, we were like, wait a minute. If we believe that something is the most functional and the most efficient and the best performance tool, we just build it into the price. We're not going to recommend it any other way. You get it. If you're buying a product from our facility, it's going to be SST Pure. You can have pride in your work that you're delivering them the best product in the world by offering them some of these features. And I would say that if you are missing the boat if you don't align yourself with companies like Strategic Chef Technologies.
Great. Thanks very much for your time today, Mark.